Look, all three of my subscribers have begged me to see this film. And I'm not someone to disappoint my fans. You hear that, Mom? So I watched Supergirl and here are my thoughts. This is basically a movie about Kara Zor-El. This is a movie from her perspective. This movie shows her backstory and it shows, what she's currently going through. And she is currently drinking like there's no fucking tomorrow on a planet with red sun. And there she meets a little girl whose father was killed by this evil guy. And that same guy poisons Supergirl's dog. So they unite together in this adventure to, well, find and kill this guy. So let's talk about the positives and negatives of this film. Let's start off with the positives. Milly Alcock, she was good in this role. I think she fits this role good. She doesn't give a spectacular performance, but I can see her as Supergirl, and she does a good job. The little girl, I forgot her name, but she was a good character. In some moments, she was even more inspirational than Supergirl, which was a bit ironic. I liked how in this movie, Supergirl is trying to find hope through this girl. I think this suit from Supergirl is better than Superman's suit. I mean, that fucking suit didn't even fit. Lobo was also in this movie, and I know a lot of people complain about the way Lobo looks from the trailers that we got, but in my honest opinion, Lobo was good in this film. I know a lot of people complain about the looks of Lobo from the trailers that we got, but he was a good character in this film. I like the way this movie progressed. It wasn't a boring movie. It had a lot of energy. It had a lot of emotions. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It had a comedy, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. We'll talk about that later. The best part of this film has to be the third act. There's just a lot of cool scenes, a lot of cool fighting scenes. In fact, I think the best fighting scenes in this movie happen in the third act. Also, there's more Lobo in the third act, so I think the movie comes to a satisfying conclusion, or at least it gets the momentum right for the third act. Overall, the story was good. Well, I should say the story was okay. I went into this film wanting to know more about Kara Zor-El. I wanted to know her upbringing. I wanted to know why she is the way she is now. And, well, even though that is somewhat predictable, I mean, you kind of already know why she's like that in comparison to Superman. But I wanted to know more about her character. And did we get in this film? Kinda yes, kinda no. And that brings me to the negatives of this film. And there's fucking a lot to say negatives. So let's start off with the story. The story was okay. A lot of shit happens at random in this movie. It just felt like a compilation of and then. It just felt like there were no stakes. It just felt like nothing mattered. Even when there are high stakes in this film, you just kind of know because it's just so predictable. You just know that everything will be fine, everything will work out. This scene is not gonna go this way, even though it's leaning that way. There was no emotional hook in this film. There was simply nothing. The biggest emotional hook in this movie was probably the poisoning of Crypto. No one wants to see a fucking dog die. Like, overall, I didn't feel a better connection with Kara Zor-El after watching this movie. You get most of it in the trailers. I'm not even saying the trailers spoiled the movie. They didn't. It just, the movie didn't add anything. It just felt bland when it comes to I guess her character overall. Also, the kid that Kara Zor-El teams up with, I keep forgetting the name, I'll put it somewhere here. Even though I like that character, I think in the first chapter of this film, that little girl is presented as helpless. But in the third act, she's incredibly capable, she's incredibly strong, and it didn't make much sense. Also, the villain. Holy shit, the villain in this story. Like, that is your typical villain in a movie. He does random evil shit for the sake of doing evil shit. It doesn't make any sense. There's no bigger meaning. There's just fucking nothing. He kills thousands of people, but when he's about to kill our main cast, Supergirl and this little girl, he doesn't. Because, I don't know, he actually captures them, he imprisons them like almost 3 times because they continually try to kill this guy. But yeah, for some reason he just doesn't kill him. There's multiple moments where he was about to kill Supergirl or this little girl, and yeah, he just doesn't do it. Who the fuck knows why? There's this little subplot of the villain and his team stealing girls because they want to create a little harem, I guess. It just didn't work. It just didn't work. This whole movie in general needed better writing. Supergirl overall was badly written. There's just nothing of a bigger substance there. There's just no meat on the bones here. Everything felt superficial. Nothing felt like it had more depth. When it comes to the locations in this movie, I was defending this movie when I first saw the trailers. I was telling people, look, we need to see this film. Maybe it's gonna be sci-fi adventure. Maybe we'll see other worlds and whatnot. And now when I've seen the movie, honestly, I think James Gunn should have directed this film instead of Superman, because this movie, yeah, it looked bland. Nothing even creative to stay memorable. And that even becomes a problem when there are fighting scenes in this movie. And most of the fighting scenes are just in almost complete darkness. It's just bland looking and you can't really see what's going on. It didn't look visually appealing as I hoped for. And I really hoped it would look better, but it really didn't. Overall, this was probably one of the most mediocre superhero movies I have seen in the last 2 years. It wasn't spectacular, it wasn't boring. Like, I'm not regretting buying a ticket to see the film, but whether you should buy a ticket to see this film, I don't know what to tell you. If you're a massive Supergirl fan, if you really want to see Lobo in action, which was cool, and there are some cool scenes with Supergirl, you won't regret going to see this film. I'm sure there are actually going to be people who will enjoy this film, and I cannot say I didn't enjoy the film. I just think it was forgettable. I will probably forget about this film in like 5 days. I'm probably not gonna buy it for my collection. So basically, not as fun as I expected, not as emotional as it should have been, and it gave us nothing new in this genre. It gave us nothing new in movies overall. So it's just forgettable. That's everything I could say about this film. When it comes to the current state of DC, I'm not sure where this is all going. I think I'm not a hater of James Gunn as some people are. I'm really not. I think he has a good potential to make something of this world. But right now, I only care to see Batman. I just want to see what they do with Batman, because I don't fucking care about the new Superman. Does anyone fucking care? The first one was okay at best. It had some moments. I love the ending, but that's about it. So overall, I'm not fucking excited to see Superman. I want to see Clayface and I want to see what they do with Batman. That's about it. So if you wanna see more, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Letterboxd, and like this video for more amazing content on this weird-ass channel. And that's about it.